Guys, welcome back to Risque Business News. I'm May.
And I'm Laura. And today we are going to be talking about Eurovision, the competition that hits yearly. And every year I'm like, this is the most ridiculous little thing that they're doing over in Europe. But it had some drama this year, as it always does. So we're going to be discussing that. Duolingo is stepping into the AI game and people hate it.
Really?
People hate it. We're going to talk about that. And then I'm going to also be talking about, do you know the sweatshirts Park? Or
No.
like Park the brand?
No, I don't.
Okay, it doesn't fucking matter. But we'll be talking about this influencer-led brand that has a dirty little secret.
Ooh, love it. That's fun.
Oh, and then I might talk about Hailey Bieber again, but briefly.
Oh my God, yes.
Because that poor girl.
That poor girl. Good God. I want to discuss real quick Tim Dillon's CNN interview. Did you see this?
No, wait, Matthew mentioned it, and I was like,
yeah.
I was in the heat of things with like the wedding, and I was like, I don't fucking care about Tim Dillon.
Oh,
CNN.
I care so
And he's
much
like,
about Tim Dillon on
oh,
CNN.
you might find it interesting, and I was like, yeah, in a week I'll find it interesting.
It was okay. Well, I'm about to tell you about it, so I hope you find it interesting then.
No, I'm sure I will. I'm sure I
I'm
will.
going to talk about a police officer that resigned for a big yikes moment. We're going
Uh-oh.
to talk about that. Nothing police brutality related.
Yeah,
more
nothing like
silly.
Classic.
Yeah,
sad
not
police
classic.
shit.
What is a hobosexual? Hobosexual. And are you a victim to one? You'll find out.
Matthew.
And
Just kidding.
and we're going to talk about boys being boys at the end.
Perfection. Enjoy.
Where's the money? I don't understand how you make money
Hold
from
on.
that, though.
2 stand-up comics in New York City.
Just learned a lot of this stuff. I'm gonna ask all the stupid questions that you might be thinking at home, but are afraid to ask people.
Making it to where you feel like you're too stupid to be able to ever engage in it, they win.
Why the fuck are they doing this?
It's to make money. It's risque business news.
So a Mexican ship just fucking
Oh my God, I
ate
can't
shit
believe we
into the
haven't.
Brooklyn Bridge.
I can't believe I didn't write that down because, yo. And
Yo.
I was like the person in the group chat who started making jokes way too early. And then everyone's like,
oh yes,
everyone,
you did that.
Everyone was like, someone died. And I was like,
Multiple people died.
like I had to like rein it in. I was like, oh fuck, like let's take a step back. Sorry.
That was insane, though. I mean, if you don't know what we're talking about, I don't know where you've been, but basically this Mexican Navy ship that was like super ornate and looked like a pirate ship.
It
Why
was
is
part
that?
of a
celebration?
peace mission. It was like a cultural sharing trip that they were doing.
Okay.
So they're doing a tour, and it's meant to like, be cute. Like,
Hey, we're Mexicans.
we're
Look how cool we
look
are.
How fun.
Yeah.
Like fun as it looked lit. Is
It
what
did
looked.
look lit.
It was cool. It was like really, really beautiful. Looked like a pirate ship. Very tall. Spoiler alert, very tall ship. And there were a bunch of guys on there who were like doing like, I don't know, cultural significant stuff. Like I keep being like, they were doing mariachi. How else can I say this?
Yeah.
They were doing that. And
Right.
and then like they were doing like really acrobatic stuff off of the bows or
I
whatever.
saw.
Like there was like they were all standing there all cute. Like in a
Right.
formation.
And then they just fucking crashed into the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yeah. So I
Did
guess
that boat
like
come all the way from Mexico? Did it like sail up from Mexico?
yeah, I think so.
Wow, that's crazy.
Or I mean, I don't know. I'm not a
Man,
naval
dude.
expert, but
like why didn't they know that was going to happen?
so I read more into this because at first I was like, all right, Mexican Navy, like we have some trainings that we need to reassign to
Some
the team.
mathematical equations you need
My
to
God, it was like 170 foot or something like that. It was about a 30-foot difference between the bridge and the ship.
Yeah.
Which is a lot,
Right.
like a lot of feet.
Yeah.
To the point where it was like clearly not going to make it under. But it wasn't supposed to ever go under. And that was something I didn't realize. And I feel like they should have been a little stronger with on TV when they were talking about the news.
Wait, what do you mean? So it wasn't ever supposed to go under the bridge?
No.
So why the fuck were they barreling towards the bridge?
Because they had like an issue with their engines. So
oh, right.
yes.
This rings a bell.
yes.
Okay.
So if you watch the video, and this is actually like kind of tough to watch, where there's a tugboat that goes with the ship and it's meant to tug the fucking big ship and take it out to wherever it's supposed to go. Because obviously, I think it was a sailboat too. It has engines, but like there's
Yeah.
sails that are significantly impacting where and how fast it goes. And the tugboat is behind it and is trying to swing it around. And because of the currents and stuff, the tugboat kind of fucked up. It gets
Oh.
ahead And then because of the sails, it starts moving faster than the tugboat. And you can see the tugboat trying to get back around and stop the front of the boat.
Yeah.
But it isn't successful. And that's why it crashes. So it was supposed to go, I guess, the other direction.
Damn, that's crazy. That's so tragic.
Which is really, yeah, and it sucks because my assholes like me right out the gate were like, fucking Mexican. Just kidding. But like, you know how it is. Like, you know, it's easy to make fun of that a little bit. And then I was like, oh, people died. Oh, I got to rein it in. Ooh,
yeah.
I jumped to bits too fast sometimes, folks.
There are so
you know what?
many tragedies.
Just one of us in each group chat.
There are so many tragedies in our fucking rivers. Constantly.
Also, ironically, you were at Dumbo House.
I was at Dumbo House that same night, but I didn't see it. That would be crazy. Imagine if I saw it.
My friend Charlie was getting like groups of like a group of my friends was there. I was supposed to be there if I hadn't been out of town at Mohegan Sun.
He was at Dumbo House too?
Yeah, and I was supposed to like it was like the group of people were also going.
Yeah.
So we were all going to just watch this ship.
Oh my God.
But I texted him and I was like, so did you see the ship? And he goes, I was way too drunk at that point. He's like, oh, maybe. I don't fucking know.
What time did the ship?
It was later in the day.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think it was like 6 or 7. I'm kind of making it up.
Okay,
but it looked like it was like dusk.
Wow.
And the ship was like, I gotta go.
Wow.
Nice.
Well, that sucks.
It does suck. Definitely didn't help their little peace mission or whatever that was. Ironically, no impact to the Brooklyn Bridge. Brooklyn Bridge did not give a shit.
I was thinking that. I was
no
like,
damage or minimal damage. They were like had cars running 15 minutes later.
That's unbelievable.
New York was like, we don't have the time.
Yeah.
For this weird Mexican Navy attack, I guess.
We can't have. Yeah. What are we doing here? We got places to go.
We've congestion pricing to be held. You know, we gotta go.
We gotta go. Cool. You want to talk about Tim Dillon's CNN interview?
Well, I don't know anything about this.
Okay, so basically,
I know who Tim Dillon is, and I know what CNN is.
So,
and I'm assuming they came together.
If you've been with us since the beginning, you know that Timmy D is my favorite person, probably besides Timmy Chalamet. Honestly, I'm a big fan of the Timmys, but
yeah, Timmy.
So Timmy D, he publicly spoke about this hour-long interview that he did with CNN.
Hour-long?
Is
CNN an idiot?
I mean,
what's
yes,
wrong
they
with
are.
them?
No,
why would they have
hubris
him on for
was
an hour?
crazy. So he did this interview with this girl, Elle Reeve, and she got famous from, I think, covering the Charlottesville attack, that whole thing or whatever. And she was just the wrong person to be interviewed. I mean, it was like really, really cringe. So he was saying that they were trying not to put it out because they looked so bad because he was just running like laps around this girl, and she was talking like, so then they finally put it out. They just put it out, and now they're trying to like at one point he called the politicians that are being interviewed on comedy podcasts as dorks, and like that's the headline they're running with, like Tim Dillon calls the politicians dorks, and it's like, that's the worst thing that you find.
I just Googled Tim Dillon and it said comedian Tim Dillon on interviewing dork politicians.
Exactly. So that's like the worst
mild.
they could come up with him, but it was unbelievable. So this girl, Elle Reeve, she comes in and she very much admittingly is like, I don't know anything about comedy, but let me tell you how comedy works. And he was just like, oh, and it was like,
He's like,
wow.
Strong start.
It was just like rolling up the sleeves. It was actually amazing.
Wait, I gotta go watch.
And she was saying, she was like, there are no left-wing comedians left. And he was like,
what are you talking about?
He goes, it's like 90% of them. What are you talking about? And then she was like trying to say, she was like, well, you probably didn't want to come on here because Joe Rogan would be mad at you. And he was like, what? He was like, you're talking about like comedy as though you're a QAnon person. Like, you think
it's
that
not
there's
a monolith.
these weird like cabals and shit. He was like, I'm just going and doing what I want to do. I'm interviewing who I want to interview, and I'm having a lot of fun and being hilarious.
I will say to her, not defense, but like light devil's advocate, there certainly are people who would fall more in line with what Joe Rogan needed them to do, right? Tim Dillon, I would argue, is not one of them.
No, Tim Dillon is his own man.
He's his own man. And so she probably just didn't know, like didn't realize, like of all the people to say that to.
Yeah. And the whole interview, she's so smug seeming. And it's like, why would you put this woman in front of Tim Dillon?
Why did they do that?
I don't know.
I mean, for clicks?
For
guess. Advertising revenue? Because I'm going to go watch that video.
They were trying not to put it out. And then they were trying to be like, oh, we're going to edit it down to 20 minutes. He goes, I was there for an hour. Put out the full hour. And he spoke about it on Rogan. So then it became this thing
Yikes.
that everyone knew about.
Yikes.
But everyone watched that interview. It was fucking amazing. It was like a master class in having someone sit across from you being condescending and him just being like, what?
Well,
like everything she said, he was like, the way that you're speaking is like
so
not correct at all. And here's why.
Did they talk about the book that one of the CNN news anchors, I'm forgetting his name, just released about Biden? Did they talk about that on the interview?
No, I'm not sure. No,
because
I'm not
the
sure.
absolute CNN has really been getting owned over this last couple of weeks. Jake Tapper, who is a CNN anchor, and Alex Thompson wrote a book about Biden's mental decline, which they released last week.
Oh, really?
Now, what's
That's
important
fascinating.
about this is a couple of things. First of all, Biden got diagnosed with prostate cancer last week, which was like big news, and it's a pretty treatable disease, but either way.
Is it?
Yeah, he's old as fuck though, so who knows? It's one
I
of
thought
those.
it was really serious.
Matt told me, and to be fair, I didn't follow up
okay.
on this, but Matt said it was like of the cancer is not that bad, but perhaps he's wrong. Can't you just like get your prostate like
taken out
or checked? I imagine the prostate being like the tonsils.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't
That's
know,
like the
Laura.
tonsils of your butthole for men, right?
I don't think so.
Either way, I'm not an expert on what's going on with Biden's health.
Okay.
Needless to say, it was in the news, and the timing of it with this book coming out was like awesome for them. So Jon Stewart, talk about a left-leaning guy.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, to freaking CNN's point, he comes out on his show and he's like, how convenient that they are releasing a book for you to buy about news they should have reported a year ago to you for free.
Yep.
And like at the same time as this like poor fucking guy is going through like cancer treatment, like this book is coming out about how he's like old and decrepit a year after it matters at all. And he's like, what is the point of CNN? So they're getting lambasted by both sides.
Right.
Which is kind of interesting.
Yeah. It should have been, it was crazy that we were trying to weekend at Bernie's our way to a victory at the beginning. And then when we did that switch out for Kamala, it was like too little too late. It was like, guys, we could have just admitted that he was mentally and physically declining a long time ago.
Moved it along. No. And that's what they kept being like, oh, there was a cover up by the Democrats. And he's like, I mean, realistically, every single poll showed Americans thought he was too old. So like, why did we continue to?
Why did you even bother
this?
try to cover it up?
Yeah. But now they're trying to write this book of this like, oh my God, like, come on. You were supposed to report on this when it happened. But instead, CNN was one of the ones who were just like, no, everything's fine.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Totally. Anyway.
CNN, man.
They are. I mean, all the news organizations are.
All of them.
Crazy. But CNN, specifically in this last week, has been getting owned. Was there anything else on what Tim Dillon said?
Basically, it was him running laps around this woman, and it was really pathetic on CNN's part. And I find it interesting that they were trying to bury the interview, and they were like, well, we're just not going to put that out then.
They're going to release a book about it in a year.
Yeah. I also find it crazy the hubris that they have, because the way that this woman was talking, it was very much like she thought that she was in control and she was smarter, and it's like, you do not know the juggernaut.
Yeah, you're in
you're in danger, girl.
You're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, like
someone should have. That's honestly on her team. Someone should have been like, heads up.
This guy knows his shit and he's smart as a whip.
And he's like gonna be an asshole.
And no, he wasn't even being an asshole. That was the most insidious part about it, is that he was saying things to her like super nicely.
Oh, interesting.
Because
what an interesting tactic.
Well, he's fucking smart. He's a genius. He is literally the smartest man on earth.
Damn.
And it was phenomenal. So go ahead and watch that, everybody.
Yeah, we'll check that out. Okay, well, that was a fun topic. Should I go ahead and switch to a definitely controversial topic?
Please.
Eurovision. If you were paying attention, it was won by an Austrian guy singing probably some ridiculous ass song. And the second place group was Israel, which everyone was like, huh. So kind of surprising, obviously, like given right now popularity, not necessarily, especially in Europe.
Isn't
lower.
Israel technically in Asia?
It's all, yeah. Also, and another thing,
They should be disqualified for being Asians.
They should be in the Asia vision.
Yeah.
The Middle East vision. They probably wouldn't do so well in that one.
No, they would probably get mowed down.
Probably not do so well in the Middle Eastern version. Of Vision. Anyway, so they did quite well in Eurovision, and people are a little surprised by this. And it was actually...
Wait, it's like a dancing competition? Like a singing?
Eurovision, no, they come in with songs. So it's
okay.
If you don't know what Eurovision is, it's definitely worth like looking into because it's absolutely insane. Basically, every European country comes in with a song and this little crew. There's a Will Ferrell movie about it that's delightful. I forget what it's called. It might be called Eurovision.
Okay.
And... they each country has to like put forward a performance, and they're always like way over the top, very like Broadway-esque.
Yeah.
Like fire and like very like ABBA kind of vibes.
I've seen clips.
Yes, you know,
it looks like a Zoolander
it always
scene.
It always seems like satire. But they're like dead fucking serious.
It's so European of them to do this fucking
It's very European of them. And every country does it. And they're really into it. They really like this. But most importantly, it's inherently nationalistic. Like your country goes and you support your country, right?
Right.
And what's interesting is, so Israel obviously has been like in the news, and
has it?
Yes, their public service broadcaster Khan submitted the song "New Day Will Rise," and it was performed by Yuval.
Day.
Do you know this?
No, I'm just doing a Celine Dion song.
Oh, okay. I was like, is that it?
No.
Well, it was performed by Yuval Raphael, who was a survivor of the Nova Music Festival.
Wow.
In terms of inspiring the nationalistic, like, what are we doing? You know, like I read that sentence and I was like, yo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So obviously this person's been through quite a bit. That is a compelling, he's a survivor of a fucking terrorist attack coming in for the country that got terrorist attacked. And they obviously have had drama since then, but like that's the key there. And there's a lot of people in Israel who support it. He originally had the song was called October Rain, and then they had to change it to, there was a second song that October Rain, which was about the terrorist attack by Hamas.
Yeah. And
they had to switch it. They required them to change the lyrics to Hurricane. So not to like reference it as directly like Eurovision did.
Okay.
So there's been all this drama nonetheless. And they overwhelmingly won the public vote for this. And then they started looking at some of the data there. And basically the Israeli government had gone to their own official social media channels and encouraged everybody there to vote for Raphael. And a lot of people had gone and voted like up to 20 times, which is not allowed. And a lot of other countries, like to the Guardian's credit, who's where I got a lot of this info from, they talked about how in Belgium, way more people vote than actually watch the show in Belgium.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're the only ones who are like encouraging their citizens to go out and vote.
Right.
But either way, because they had such great mobilization of their group, Israel ended up getting second in this whole thing.
Wow.
And then all the other people were like protesting, and it was all goddamn drama and stuff like that. But kind of crazy. So now they're considering potentially trying to change the rules somewhat to where you can't like do multi-votes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, and they were like, one of the quotes was, "There's a great importance to the apolitical and binding value of the Eurovision Song Contest, but that it is increasingly influenced by social and geopolitical pressures." It's not apolitical. When has it been apolitical?
Yeah, I feel like even
you have countries going against each other. The Olympics are political.
The Olympics are extremely political.
Extremely political.
Yeah, like when we played Russia during the Cold War, it was like a big fucking whoop.
Obviously,
like,
yeah, exactly. Like that's the reason. Do you think the governments invest in these things for because they like tunes?
Right.
Because they like a little ditty? They do not. They do it because they want to clown on Austria or whatever.
Fuck
the
Austria.
hell. Fuck Austria, I guess.
Hate them.
But anyway, so big drama in the Eurovision world.
Who got number one?
Austria did.
Oh, Austria.
Austria won this round.
Oh, fuck.
And Austria. It was actually kind of insane because I guess whoever wins is supposed to host the next year's competition.
Oh, okay.
So at Israel won, they were like,
"Oh my god!"
They were like, "I mean, well, to be fair, we can't.
We're not doing
we
that.
can't fucking go there. Like,
Yeah.
we're obviously not.
We're not going
Eurovision.
to Asia for Eurovision." My god.
So I think even Israel probably would have been like, yeah, no, we get that. That's that we understand. You probably shouldn't come here right now.
Oh my God. Okay, so is that all you have on that?
That is all I have. How well did I do on talking respectfully about that?
You fucking nailed it.
I just like Matrix avoided as many bullets as I could.
That was
on
tough.
That one.
That was tough.
Hard. No, it's hard.
It was tough,
but I did it.
Good for us.
Everyone's like, no, I'm offended.
So I have the craziest story ever. So I found this when I was scrolling, and basically a police officer had to resign after he locked himself in the back seat while having sex with a female suspect.
Hell yeah.
So watch this.
Hell yeah, American cops.
I'm going to need you to watch this. We're going to have
We have footage.
Hold on. We have footage. Let's play it from the beginning.
Wait. What is this? His body cam?
Wait a second. Here we go. So this is the woman getting arrested.
I just want you to know you can only see her tits.
Yeah. This is from his body
And they're pretty
cam.
nice.
Don't say that right now.
Oh, I don't like hearing how horny he is.
He's so horny. I hate that. Don't say that right
I said
now.
don't say that right now. Because
Ew.
everything's being recorded right now.
That
going
that
on?
way he spoke, gross.
Yo.
1 hour later, his colleague had to free him from the locked car.
Oh. Who's this?
It's him.
All right, sir, step out of the vehicle for me.
He's trying to explain himself the next day.
Oh my God.
How crazy
That
is that?
is so funny. Literally, you're wearing a body cam.
You're wearing a body cam. Ew, like the way he was like, don't say that right now.
Oh God.
Ew.
Instant dry.
Instant
That
dry.
is a towel right there. That is a chamois.
I wonder what happens. I'm assuming she was getting taken in for prostitution. I'm just assuming that. I don't know if that's true or not. But like, I wonder if they were like, you know what? You're free to go.
They're like, you know what? That one's on.
That's on us.
Forget about it.
Yeah. You could just not
next
charge
time,
him.
You know.
I honestly,
you get a free pass.
I honestly feel like he probably was, and this is very ACAB of me, but I feel like he was probably thinking that the other officer that freed him was going to cover for him.
Probably.
How fucked up is that? That is so disgusting.
Yeah, no, probably. Where was this? What do we know? What city?
Oh, I actually don't. I'm not sure.
That's fine.
But
I don't want to have to make big assumptions about cities.
Looked somewhere warm.
It did look somewhere warm because I could see her boobies.
Yes.
She was wearing a nice tank top, and it is not tell you that, not doing that in New York right now.
No, definitely not. It's freezing out in New York. Like late May. It's crazy.
Awful.
Don't say that right now.
Don't say that right now.
Don't say that right now.
I'm gonna look
that
up
sounds like
prostitute fucked by coaches.
that reminds me of your friend Mikey, who's always going, "Oh yeah," when he's really, I hate that. He's always when he gets
we're always like, oh no.
He gets really drunk and he thinks it's super funny to do that all the time.
It's pretty
It is funny, but I'm like, oh my God, no! My toes are like,
yeah, no. I'm like, especially when I'm drunk, I'm like,
don't be horny. No one's allowed to be horny.
No one. I don't like it. Don't say that right now.
Don't see that right now.
It's the pause. The pause out the gate when you can just hear his brain doing calculations, and he's like, I'm about to fuck my job
I
up.
am actually so
for backseat sex. It's not good.
I am so jealous of men sometimes because the horniness that they feel must
be a different thing.
Oh, it must be. I mean, I would never lose my job over sleeping with someone. I just wouldn't do it. It would never happen to me.
Well, you're wearing a body cam.
It would never fucking happen to me.
There's not a chance of you were relying on corrupt cops.
Yeah.
For you to not get caught because you recorded it.
Yeah.
What do you mean? In your cop car? Get her number, buddy.
Yeah.
Get her number. Or at least like
Yikes.
stop somewhere else and let her out of the car and like, I don't know.
Also, how stupid are you? Don't you know that cop cars, they
Yeah.
lock
What
from
is
the
your
outside
first
or
day on
whatever?
the job? It was his first day on the job.
First and last day on the job, he's like, oh, I got into this to fuck hookers, and thank God. I did it so quickly.
So was he arrested then, I guess?
I guess so, yeah,
Damn.
for like soliciting a hooker. How embarrassing is that? Imagine being his mom. I would be like, I gotta kill myself.
Yeah,
now.
I definitely have to kill myself now.
I think about stuff like that all the time. Not that my van will do anything bad in his whole life. But I do
Probably not to that degree.
No, probably
Odds
not
are.
to that degree. That would be I don't know what I would do. But like not to that degree, but I'm saying like he's gonna embarrass me in some way, shape, or form.
Absolutely. He's probably gonna post like really cringe stuff online.
Oh.
But like same.
Yeah. He's gonna post cringe stuff. He might say some like bad words in class or something.
Oh boy. All right. Well, I'm going to turn this into this is a far less interesting topic than cops with fucking hookers. Duolingo.
Yes.
Is now offering 148 courses as of April on their language learning app. And they are developed using AI.
Okay.
Yes. First, them and I guess Klarna randomly are both like using AI to generate content internally. And then for their consumers. And they're kind of like some of the first companies to really, really do this.
Yeah.
And Duolingo, you may also be familiar with, has a strong social media presence. I would say probably previously, at least, they were considered probably the number one brand in terms of brands on social media.
I would say so because it was funny. They had funny
They were legit.
Quips. Yeah.
Super funny. They've been doing it for years. They have 16 million followers. This is a language app, folks. Who gives a shit? But they had their little like Duolingo bird, and he would get into shenanigans, or she would get into shenanigans, or they would get into shenanigans. I don't know.
We don't know.
I don't know what this bird is. Anyway, because of the AI content, people online and users got really upset to the point where they were like spamming all of their comments on the different videos of theirs, and they have a lot of them. So Duolingo did an interesting response and deleted everything off of their TikToks and Instagram accounts, removed all their videos.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Huh.
Yep.
That is crazy.
So then, of course, the internet went even crazier and just says, like there's like all these reaction content and like little skits. This girl goes, your friend deleted Duolingo because of the AI takeover. So you throw her a funeral for her 5-year streak. And it's her like with like a little like cake and roses and funeral stuff.
Has anyone actually learned a language on Duolingo?
No one.
I mean, truly.
No one.
I honestly don't think a single soul has done it. When I was dating my ex from Mexico, I downloaded Duolingo. I did the Spanish thing like every single day, and I literally only know how to say
Cerveza. Yeah. Biblioteca. ¿Dónde está la biblioteca?
Escuela.
Where is it? Where is it?
That's it. That's all I got. School, library.
Yeah. Thanks, Duolingo. Appreciate you for that. That was useful. Thank God I spelled. Is it for money? Or is it free?
You know, I don't know. Maybe I'm still paying for it all these years later. I don't know.
That's an expensive biblioteca. Well, anyway, so they put one additional video out after it removed all the other ones, and it says, no, they didn't. They just said a statement that said, let's just say we're experimenting with silence. Sometimes the best way to make noise is to disappear first. So now they're like, no, this is like a cool marketing thing. I think they just didn't realize how pissed people would be about AI making content.
Yeah.
Yeah. And especially, it's weird because they should be savvier about it, considering how they know they were like more in tune with consumers.
They're so savvy about it that I'm almost like, well, maybe this is a long game thing that they're doing, because I'm like,
yeah, that's true. Maybe
they're so smart. I'm like,
maybe I'm getting conned right now.
I think so. I think we're probably
as usual.
Yeah, that's what we do.
I'm getting conned. Probably.
That's what happens to us. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
We could have Mikey come on to do that. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's like, okay. I'm like, yeah, you have to drink. It's funny. What you got?
Okay, next one I have is Nick Cannon says his balls are his most valuable asset. So
hell yeah.
And I mean, you know, whatever. He insured them for $10 million.
That's a little much.
Yeah.
He's the one with like 12 kids, right? He's a breeder as well?
Yes, he has 12 kids.
Wow, I nailed it.
Yeah, exactly 12.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Cool, good for him.
Imagine his Mother's Day. It's just like, oof.
He is exhausted. When Mother's Day comes, he's like, oh no.
He's like, what is her name? What's her fucking name?
Don't remember.
Like the baby mama or the kid.
And he has to do that thing where he's like giving a gift from him and from the fucking kid because they're too young. He's like, oh, I have 24 gifts to go buy. He's at Costco. Like, do you have sets of 24 of anything? You're all getting socks this year.
Oh my God. Who are these women that are like, you know what? I'll take a Nick Cannon kid.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. It's so weird, right?
It's insanely weird. I mean, I think what they are is, well, no, I don't want to hate on these poor women.
No.
I'm sick of hating on women.
Yeah, how about that?
How about that?
Hating on women. It's on
It's
pause.
out. It's on Pip.
It's on Pip.
Hating on women is on Pip. We got to bring Pip back. Mm-hmm. Hating on women is on Pip. Hating on men is off Pip.
No, it's
been promoted.
It's been promoted.
It's the executive officer now.
It has.
So we'll hate on Nick Cannon, but I will say those women are probably getting paid. Is the reality. There's probably some sort of financial thing.
It's like,
yeah, I mean, for them.
All right.
For them, it is. But yeah, no, I can't imagine.
Well, God bless.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, for the dominatrix that's working for Nick Cannon, do not step on his balls because they
or do
are
and get that
pricey.
sweet insurance settlement. How about negotiating that insurance contract?
Yeah,
because
right.
literally, like they probably had to think about like, okay, what happens in the event of consensual sex that involves ball play?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Gross. The lawyer, like a real lawyer, had to sit in a room with Nick Cannon's lawyers and be like, all right, we got to go over all these pieces. Someone representing AXA Insurance
Yeah.
had to be like, okay, well, I've got this weird deal that I'm bringing. No, it's going to be in my quarter. It's the Nick
Literally.
Cannon balls deal. How's that going on your forecast, AXA?
God.
Do you have more on Nick Cannon? Or that might
No,
be the
that's
perfect segue into another man who is really trying to become as hateable as possible.
Please.
It's kind of amazing. It's like he's doing it all to himself, too.
Whom?
Justin Bieber.
Oh my God.
What is going on?
I
Last
don't
week we
know.
talked about how he had this like chaotic Mother's Day post where he was like, I hate moms, basically.
Yeah, he was like, Mother's Day sucks.
Yeah, to his wife is famously a brand new mother.
Yeah.
Like has a 6-month-old
Has
infant.
a 6-month-old. It was her first Mother's Day, and that's what he decided to post.
Correct. Well, then Hailey Bieber, who has been just doing her goddamn best, trying to be a good mom. She is also like the founder of Rhode, which is a skincare, makeup, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's doing really, really well. It's recently been launched in Sephora. And she was on the cover of Vogue.
Nice.
I guess, which is cool, whatever. Justin Bieber posts. Yeah, no, it's very cool.
Yeah.
And Justin Bieber decides to post, and it's talking a lot about postpartum and stuff. It's actually a really cool interview. I read portions of it, and it was very like honest about the process and how hard it was.
I love that for her.
Yeah, I think it's a good conversation just in general for all of us to be having. So Justin Bieber decides to support his wife
Oh my God.
by posting on Instagram, and he
this.
says, he reposted Hailey Bieber on Vogue's cover, and he goes, yo, this reminds me when Hailey and I got into a huge fight. I told Hales that she would never be on the cover of Vogue. Yikes, I know, so mean. For some reason, because I felt so disrespected, I thought I gotta get even. I think as we matured, we realized we're not helping anything by getting even. We're honestly just prolonging what we really want, which is intimacy. And then he keeps going for a little bit.
Oh,
But he outs
my
himself
gosh.
for telling her that
You're
she's never going to be on the cover of Vogue, which is a hell of an insult, by the way.
Yeah, it
Matthew's
really
never
is.
told that to me because it didn't feel like a conversation piece that we needed.
Mark reminds me of that every day. You're never going to be on the
He
cover
didn't think.
of Vogue.
I think we both have like a mutual agreement. That's not something that we need to concern ourselves
Probably
with.
not in the cards.
It's probably not even. Yeah, I'm also not going to probably go to space.
Yeah.
Also that.
Who knows?
Yeah,
They're
I
sending
guess-
anyone up there now.
Yeah, nowadays, odds have gotten better on that.
It is crazy to me thinking about how much scrutiny their relationship is under all the time for the duration of the whole time that they've been together.
Yeah.
They've been under a microscope and they've been under the scrutiny, and she has been taking most of the brunt of it. And for her to have this like amazing moment, especially like now given the context of the article where she's talking about vulnerabilities surrounding motherhood, and he has to rain on her parade like that. I mean, what is wrong with this man? What is fucking wrong with this man?
So another twist on it, Selena Gomez.
Oh my God, this bitch.
Had an interesting. You're gonna like this.
Oh, I'm gonna like it. Okay.
Yeah. Take that back.
Sorry, I know.
kidding.
Sorry, it's on Pip. Hating Women's on Pip.
Hating Women's on Pip. Hating Women is on Pip. So apparently she actually recently followed Rhode. And there was everyone was trying to say there was going to be this rivalry between them because she has her line Rare, which is in Sephora. Mm-hmm. And they were trying to say oh, she's not going to be supportive of Rhode getting in Sephora too. Fucking.
There's a lot of brands in Sephora. It's a pretty fucking saturated space. Yeah. I don't think that Rare is threatened by Rhode.
No, and apparently
or vice versa.
There was a post about when Rhode got announced that she was going into Sephora that she had liked. So it was which
That's
is
great.
so dumb that her liking that post is
news.
Everyone's oh, People magazine. It's holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Selena Gomez liked the post about Rhode, her nemesis.
By the way, Haley's it has been 9 years?
We have a baby.
We have a baby, and also
she's engaged.
You're engaged to this troll from under the bridge or whatever the fuck.
Well, I will say it spices up a tiny bit when Selena posts a quote from author Abby Wiggins, which was it says, "You matter, your voice matter, your heart matters, you are worth so much more than you know." That's the quote from the author. And then underneath it, she writes, "You know who you are, and I'm cheering you on." So everyone is saying that was her saying to Haley, "Yo, this sucks," basically. Sorry.
So maybe a little bit of a reach, but I like it. I like the energy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's who is she talking about?
Yeah.
But either way, even if whatever version of that, I think is ultimately positive.
Yeah,
for Selena to be saying.
Absolutely.
To maybe some random friend of her who's going through a hard time. Or her nemesis, Hailey Bieber.
Right.
Her fake nemesis.
Mm-hmm. Remember when Selena Gomez got a kidney from one of her friends and then stopped talking to her or something like that?
No, they're insane.
Yeah,
and I want to just preface this. We've talked about these people a lot. I am very conscious of the fact that all of them are batshit crazy and probably bad people, if we're being honest. If you actually write down on paper, not great.
Or the things they'll do for fame versus
exactly
connection.
Exactly. Do they have real friendships? Maybe.
Probably not.
Probably not. But that's not my business. My business is what's being reported in People magazine and the funny stuff around that.
The more I know about the industry, about entertainment or whatever, the more I realize that no one that's not no one, but most people that are super famous don't have actual friendships.
They're busy.
They're really fucking busy.
That sucks also.
I know. If we got famous, we would still be friends because we would have to do this podcast.
Yeah.
But that would be when I saw you. I would see you for the
hack.
podcast and not 5 times a week for margaritas.
All right, well, let's skip it then.
Yeah, forget it.
We're
giving up on our dreams.
When I was at Mohegan Sun, Amy Poehler and Tina Fey were there.
See, I believe that they're friends.
I think they are friends. And there are a couple of examples where I'm and it's so cute. I want them to be friends. Oh,
I know.
But it's so funny.
I think they're the type of friends that they do work things together so that they can hang out.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And what a great way to, have a little weekend in Mohegan Sun.
Yeah.
Matthew and I were performing right next door, and I was like, anyone who's going to be a organic fan of Matthew's, and God forbid mine, is certainly going to choose Amy Poehler and Tina Fey over. And I would say, yeah, you're correct. I would also.
That makes a lot of sense.
If I could be in that room watching versus on this stage, I would be doing that.
Yeah.
But here I am.
But here you are. I'm sure their show was awesome.
Oh, and then that the German girl, the German mom. The Laura Ramoso.
Oh, yeah.
She opened for them. I'm like, God damn it.
Oh, wow. That could have been you.
Could have been me.
That could have been you.
Or actually, no, I'm saying that I would have liked to watch also the German mom. Yeah, I could have watched her.
She is so funny. If you guys don't know,
if you guys
aren't familiar with this lady, I don't even have a fucking German mom.
I do, and I'm
German mom is through Laura, and it is so funny. It's also kills me that her name is also Laura. So everything starts with Laura. And
it's like she is my German mother.
It's amazing.
My German mother has sent me her videos.
That's amazing.
And she's like, yeah, I mean, it's pretty spot on. You guys got to go check her out. Laura Ramoso, she's hilarious. She's an Italian dad. Stick to German mom.
Stick to the German mom.
Italian dad is delightful. People like it online. I prefer a German mom.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, what I have to say is this next thing that I'm talking about is hobosexuals. This is a
Hell
new
yes.
new it term. I'm sure you can guess what it is. Basically, it's
People who sleep with people for accommodations.
correct.
So
So
like an
it's,
escort, but like
Yeah.
like slightly different.
it's people that are entering a relationship with the primary goal of having a place to live rather than genuine interest romantically. Studies show that number has increased over 50% in the past decade due to
Rent's
housing
expensive.
shortages.
Rent's expensive.
I mean, I think like
Gotta
this
do what
is-
you gotta do.
This has got to be happening in New York, where people
For
meet a
sure.
guy or a girl with like an amazing apartment, and their lease is ending, and they're like, "Meh, "Why don't we speed up this relationship a little bit? Let's just like go.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and
No,
meet the
you're
parents."
so hot.
Yeah.
You're so hot.
Yep. How crazy is that, though?
That is crazy. Have you ever found yourself in a situation with a homosexual?
I don't think so.
I don't think I ever lived anywhere nice enough to
Yeah, I
have
always
that.
lived
When
in
I was-
crap apartments.
when I was loose, no one was like, I need to be in your like low mid-tier Austin apartment.
Right.
The housing was fine in Austin when I was there and
Yeah.
having relations with single gentlemen.
Yeah, and I've never been a hobosexual either because
No.
I don't know. I'm not like
It's not safe as a woman.
No,
that's
it's-
a
yeah.
man.
that's a man's.
It's a man thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe women might do like the long game version of it, you know, where it's like, oh, we're in like a full blown relationship. But I know like I've heard of guys who have gone on trips and just like will sleep with women to like for places to stay.
I
throughout
have
it.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gross.
Which is like, so you clearly think you're safe. You know?
Yeah. You clearly think you're safe, and like, what a psychotic move to do.
Oh, it's insane.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
I actually think before me and Mark got together, he did stuff like that.
Really?
And
Did
he
he not
talked
have-
about it on his podcast. That's how I know about it. He
I'm over here talking shit.
He would never willingly share that information with me because it's actually disgusting and despicable behavior. But
did he not have an apartment?
No, he would like go on the road places, and people would be like, "Where are you staying?" He's like, "I'm just gonna bang some chick and stay at her place." Literally.
All right.
Yeah.
I
This
guess-
is who I'm
I
married to,
guess
folks.
comedy?
Yeah.
Comedy.
Yeah. Comedy, I
Comedy.
guess. Yeah, it's really not cool.
I guess,
But, anyway.
yeah.
But yeah, he did do
Well,
that.
everyone's
He was-
willing and it's loud, but it's just like skeeves me out a little bit.
It skeeves me too,
Mm-hmm.
to be honest. So anyway, if you have a hobosexual, kick him out.
Come out.
Kick him out.
Go to his place, which is outside. Well, go to a park.
Remember, there was a few years ago that there was this homeless guy in New York, or unhoused, excuse me, man in New York who this was how he was getting by. He was literally
Was he just like
sleeping with
wicked
a
hot?
Yes, he was like incredibly good looking, but he
Alright.
was homeless and I assume addicted to drugs or whatever. That's why he's
Oh,
on
yeah.
the.
That's tough.
And so he would go out and like meet girls, and girls started realizing that something was up because he kept showering. And then people like started realizing they were like, it was the same guy that they were hooking up with, and they were like, wait a minute, this guy's fucking unhoused and he's
Oh
using
my
us for a shower and a
God.
meal.
That's so funny.
Isn't that
He's like, yeah, I'm not going to pay. I'm not going to pay for dinner.
no.
Not paying. That's for sure.
I'm gonna raid your cabinets. I'm gonna take a shower in your shower.
Yep.
And
Do you guys have any like milk I could take?
yikes.
Some old pasta, perhaps? Cooked, preferably. I have no stove.
I do not have a stove.
Don't have a stove.
Yeah.
Well, that would be definitely a story. Also, I feel like the Are We Dating the Same Guy?
Oh,
Those
would have
websites,
exposed him.
they would have
for
lost their
sure.
minds.
I
Was
think
that
about
before
that.
their time, though? Probably. Because those have only been
That was
around for a little
before-
while.
Yeah, that was before that time.
I'm
But-
in multi-cities of Are We Dating
oh
the
my
Same
god,
Guy?
there's so much fun.
I love them.
By the way, there's so many comedians on them. It's
Oh, yeah.
hilarious.
That's part of the reason. Every comedian hub, I'm in the Austin one, the LA one, and the New York one because I'm just keeping an eye.
yeah.
Not that I'm going to say anything, but I'm going to giggle.
I
I'm
did
gonna laugh.
I actually did a show with a guy that I've seen on there several times. And the whole time I was just thinking to myself, I was like, are you aware that I'm aware of what's going on? And if so, like,
The
are you
audience.
aware that I was like, this is crazy. Yeah, like the odds of a girl in the audience being like, is
Yeah.
pretty high.
Pretty high because especially if you're in like a lot, you're a multi-time offender.
Oh, he's been in there. One guy in particular, I'll tell you offline, obviously, but this one guy in particular,
Yeah.
literally, I'm not
Just join the
exaggerating,
group. You'll find out
10,
soon.
11 times. I'm serious. So
And you're not allowed to screenshot or send anything. I wonder if he knows.
I'm sure he does.
Must.
He must. And I don't know. That's the difference between men and women too. If I was in a like Facebook chat that was like, stay away from this woman, she's dangerous, I would fucking move.
I would move, and I would also be like, I need to reevaluate everything.
I would be like, I have to go to therapy. There's something wrong with me. There's something like dark, insidious in me. And like he's just like, I'm out doing shows.
That's me.
That's me.
Can you share my clips?
And I'm gonna do it 11 times.
What are you gonna do?
Hating on men.
It's
promoted.
It's promoted. That's it. We did too much of the other stuff on the other episodes. This episode, we're hating on men. Actually, well, I say that and I'm about to hate on some women in this next one. But this is funny. It's like light hating. So I'm going to talk about Park, which is the athleisure brand by, I'm assuming her name is Park. Oh, it's so funny that I don't even fucking know that. Chelsea Kramer.
I don't know who the fuck that person is. Let me see.
Yeah.
Chelsea.
See if you recognize her.
I bet I do.
She's an online influencer and she's Gen Z. Oh, she's this chick. It's so funny how people are influencers. If you told me this girl was an influencer, I'd be like, really?
I've never seen this woman before.
Yeah, Chelsea Kramer.
Never seen her.
I've never seen her either, so I guess this is a corner of the internet that I'm not responsible for. But basically, apparently, if you're under 25,
she's a big
not
deal.
us.
No, definitely not us.
And from a Big Ten school, they likely know about her and her fashion brand Park that sells $125 mock neck sweatshirts that have Park embroidered across the chest. And they're really big on like a bunch of college campuses. People love these. And there's like different like, versions of them.
Okay.
Pretty simple.
And her brand is I'm extremely skinny and these clothes are very big.
Exactly.
Okay, got it.
Like when you're 25 and you're like, I'm going to be like this forever.
Yeah, exactly.
This is fashion. Big sweatshirts.
Big sweatshirt.
We all did this.
Yeah.
And those tiny shorts.
So tiny.
Yes. So she is the founder of this brand. She also obviously has her own like influencer side, which is why this brand is successful. And recently, over the weekend, they had a pop-up in New York City that was wildly successful.
Really?
Wildly successful. People were lined up starting at like 3 a.m. in
Wow.
order to get these sweatshirts from her because they wanted the exclusive ones.
That's so cool.
The lines were like multi-blocks long in Soho. Apparently last year her business brought in $16 million.
What?
Which is crazy for like selling basically like little t-shirts and sweatshirts and stuff. And it's a small operation. It's a couple of friends who run it.
That seems so insane because I feel like regular brands aren't that profitable.
I know. And well, that was like some of the questions. So people have been paying more and more attention to it because it's doing really well and it's been super popular. It's doing things like the Soho pop-up. And it's like really basic shit. So people are like, what the fuck is going on here? Sustainable Fashion, which is this online group that talks about the fashion industry specific, did a bit of a review of them, which was interesting because Park claims to be sustainable and that they use the stuff from Levi's or something. They have all this shit on their website about their sourcing. And the Sustainable Fashion group was like, great. Like, let's look a little bit more into this and see if we can figure out what factories they're using.
Okay, don't go so close to the sun.
Yeah. They start looking at the pictures that Chelsea or whatever her name is sharing in her own TikTok videos, like when she's talking about the sourcing. Mm-hmm. And in one of them, she briefly flashes this image where it's like a video, but she was able to pause it. And you can see here, the tag is listed as bunch of Asian language stuff. But most importantly, in English, you can see it says Huangdao District, Qingdao City, China.
Okay.
So she goes, and does a little bit more research. She's able to find from some of the other images that are flashed on there, the Alibaba site.
No.
That has this stuff, looks further into it, and sure as shit, the same sweatshirts are available from this Alibaba like reseller. If you're not familiar with Alibaba, it's basically how you can get in contact with these manufacturing factories in China.
Oh my
So
God.
a lot of like these like pop-up brands will buy their stuff from China and then resell it here in America for a ton of money. And in this case, some of like the pieces, like this button up, which is very cute actually, this like pink button up.
Yeah.
She's selling it for like $120, $175 or something along that lines, and it is being sold for 20 to 8 pounds.
Wow.
Yes. Bulk
Damn.
shipping.
This reminds me actually on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, one of them was trying to do a jewelry line and then she got found out to be just reselling from Alibaba.
I think it's way more common.
I agree.
Way more common.
Should we be shopping Alibaba?
Should we be shopping Alibaba? I think the problem is you have to buy in like bulk.
Oh.
So that's where they get you.
Oh, okay.
But if we could buy in bulk for the squad.
We should do that.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody wants these earrings. Fine. I bought 30 of them. I'll give them out to all my friends.
I think this is a store. I think we're talking about opening a store. Wait a second. This is how a store is made.
Me and Laura just make a risky business store.
We just
it has nothing to do with risky business. It's just a bunch of earrings from Alibaba.
No, it's like Park sweatshirts. But like, how funny is that though? That she's claiming that it's not that. And then they were like, but like you just literally posted the Alibaba site that you got it off of.
But like
and they also said that every time she's doing videos of like day in the life of like working at Park, like working at my brand.
Oh boy.
She'll show her computer, like she'll flash her computer. And she's like, it's interesting how it's 20 different Alibaba tabs are open at the top. Like, are you a fucking idiot?
Yes.
Close the tabs.
Close the
all
tabs.
she had to do was not show that tag. Because they're ripping the tags out before they resell them.
So does that mean the quality is insanely horrible?
I have no idea. I mean, I'm sure like a lot of stuff is made in China that's fine.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's true.
So it depends on where there's like what type of factory they're sourcing from. So, but probably.
Yeah.
Odds are. And they're certainly making a bananas amount of profit. And I have actually no real, well, in general, you know, for sustainability's sake, it's not great. But I don't necessarily mind you reselling things. I get that they're like buying into the brand and the story and like supporting that person who is making this stuff. But claiming it's sustainable to try to get that as like a sales advantage feels like that's something that should be regulated.
It does. Because
I thought it was, but here we are.
It is a shitty thing just lying to people.
Yeah.
People don't like to get lied to.
Mm-hmm. And apparently their customer service sucks. That was something that kept popping up.
I'm sure
so
it does.
Don't order
There's
from Park.
15 hot girls just trying to.
Yeah, it's like just these West Village girlies who are like, I'm running a factory now.
Like, I want to go to fucking Via Carota.
I'm running a warehouse.
Yeah.
Huh.
How'd that happen?
Mm-hmm.
My last story is I just want to talk about this thing that I saw on the internet that said that 50% of men that were interviewed say that untrained men said that they could land a plane in the case of an emergency.
Well, I mean, we have a lot of examples of them now. We're running out of people working in airlines.
That's true.
Let's see you.
Let's see.
Up. Let's see it.
How crazy is that?
That is insane. And that is a classically male thing. But here's my toxic trait. I kind of feel like I could do. They're like, and 3% of women. And I'm like, I'm one of those women. Damn it. I'm one of those women.
I would be like, yo, I don't know what I'm doing and I'm going to end everyone's life if you put me in charge.
How about
of this?
If I'm in a situation where like we're gonna die, I'll take a crack at it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, anyone who knows something should totally try first. But if it's like me or
like some
May,
dumb idiot. Hey,
you're a dumb idiot, not me. But between the two of us, I'm going with me. I'm going with me on landing the plane.
No, I would totally agree with you. I would get super frustrated by some like software
random
thing. I'd be like, oh
yeah. You're like the tech of it all, and I'd be like, I don't know. Just give me I'm gonna Google something. Oh, the Wi-Fi's out. God damn it.
Yeah.
If we had Wi-Fi, the odds go up a lot. It goes up a lot.
That's true. That's true.
I could just call someone and then have them do a video and be like, okay, tell me exactly what to see. This is the.
That's what. Yeah. Okay.
This
maybe
is
you could.
This is a problem solving.
Maybe you could, but like without any.
No, I mean the odds of us dying are huge.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's gonna go well, but I'm just saying like I'll try.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, good for you.
See, I'm not even hating on men on this episode.
No. I mean, a little.
A little.
But
I'm just saying, I get it. I get it, gentlemen.
That's all I have. Do you have anything else?
No, that's all I have. Guys, I'm getting married next week.
Yay! Laura's getting married next week, so I don't know if we're going to do an episode.
No, we'll probably be off next week. I know this one was
week.
late because, I'm getting married next week.
Yeah, she's stressed. We got things to do.
There's got a lot of texts.
We will see you next time. You can follow me at May_planner. You can follow the pod at Risky Business News. We have an announcement coming up. We are
close.
We are very close.
We did a full photo shoot and everything. Like, it's like really close.
Actually, I would say that my topics today are a good preview. I'll say that. So we'll
Mine actually were originally supposed to be, but then they kind of like blended themselves well to the business side as well.
Sure.
So kind of all blended.
But anyway, follow us for tour dates. I'm mostly in New York. I am doing one big show at the Melody Tent on Cape Cod this summer.
Yay. And I'm going to be in Miami performing there the weekend after my wedding. So if you want to see me talk shit about my wedding, come on out.
That will be fun. That'll be a good show.
Come on out. And then next week I'll be busy. So thank you guys. We love you.
Yay. Cheers,
Goodbye.
Laura. Bye.
Where's the money? I don't understand how you make money
Hold
from
on.
that, though.
2 stand-up comics in New York City.
Just learned a lot of this stuff. I'm going to ask all the stupid questions that you might be thinking at home, but are afraid to ask people.
Making it to where you feel like you're too stupid to be able to ever engage in it, they win.
Why the fuck are they doing this?
It's to make money. It's Risque Business News.